The early part of the 2000s were not kind to the Washington Wizards. After posting a 29-53 record in the 1999-2000 season, their first full season in the millennium wasn't much better at all. As a matter of fact, it was unequivocally worse, going 19-63 in 2000 and 2001, with only the Bulls and the Warriors having worse records. Even Michael Jordan coming out of retirement couldn't save this franchise, as in the 2 seasons that Jordan spent with the Wizards, they went 37-45 both seasons before Jordan retired again for a third and final time in 2003. With Jordan gone and fired as the team's president of operations, the Wizards would sign former All-Star Gilbert Arenas, who was coming off a Most Improved Player season with the Golden State Warriors. Even with the addition of Arenas, the Wizards actually had a worse season than they did the previous 2, going 25-57. The following offseason, the Wizards made an even bigger splash, trading Jerry Stackhouse, Christian Laettner, and the rights to Devin White for Antoine Jamison, who was Arenas' teammate when they played for Golden State. This move would help get the Wizards to the playoffs as they posted a 45-37 record, finishing 5th in the East. The Wizards would beat the Bulls in the first round 4-2 after losing the first 2 games in the series and coming back and winning 4 straight. Unfortunately, their playoff run would end in the East Conference semifinals as they were swept by the Miami Heat 4-0. But the Wizards were definitely on the rise and were starting to look like they could possibly be a threat in the East, and that was only reinforced by a trade in the offseason which sent Kwame Brown and Laurent Profit to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Caron Butler and Chucky Atkins. Arenas, Butler, and Jamison were seen as the big 3 in the league, and people were starting to think that the Wizards could possibly contend for the NBA championship. Unfortunately, thanks to LeBron James, that didn't happen. The Wizards would post records of 42-40, 41-41, and 43-39 the next 3 seasons, with them making the playoffs every year, but their playoff runs ending at the hands of LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round each year. In the 2008-2009 season, the Wizards were hoping to finally get over the hump and beat the Cavaliers, but any hopes of them even making the playoffs were ended by Gilbert Arenas not playing more than 2 games that entire season, due to issues with his surgically repaired knee. Without Arenas, the Wizards ended up going 19-63 once again, just like they did in their first full season in the millennium. This would be the final time that you'd see Arenas, Butler, and Jamison as teammates, as Arenas was suspended for most of the season due to a gun incident, and Caron Butler and Antoine Jamison were both traded in February. Needless to say, this Wizards roster never really reached their full potential, as they went 26-56 that year, and it'd be 3 more losing seasons after that before the Wizards would make the playoffs again. In this series, I plan on taking over the Wizards from the 2009-10 season and seeing if I can rebuild them into an Eastern Conference contender once again. Welcome to the Washington Wizards Dynasty on NBA Live 10. Hello there, beautiful people. Welcome back to the channel, and today you guys are getting series proposal number 4 in the form of NBA Live 10. Now, I never actually owned this game when it first came out. I was actually starting to head towards playing 2K more than NBA Live, but back in like NBA Live 2000, 2001 and whatnot, NBA Live was really the basketball game of choice for me and many other people. I feel like NBA Live 10 is one of the more underrated games. It actually did pretty well as far as like reviews went, but in the end, 2K ended up being the more successful franchise as the NBA Live series ended up taking a hiatus. Now, if you guys would rather see me play NBA 2K10 or NBA 2K11, I have both games for my 360. Let me know in the comments section. Now, the team that I'm going to be using in this rebuild are the Washington Wizards, and this was after the Wizards went 19-63. And this was actually the season in which Gilbert Arenas got suspended pretty much the entire year for the whole gun thing. And then Caron Butler and Antoine Jamison ended up getting traded. Now, I'm not going to trade either of them in this series. At least I don't plan on doing it. But this is a team that really stagnated on pretty much just being a one-and-done team in the playoffs before their 19-63 season in the 08 and 09 season. And they're not getting any younger, so pretty much I have to do something in order to boost this team over that hill. But we have some other notable names on this team, Mike Miller being one of them. Of course, Mike Miller is well known for being a part of all those Heat teams that ended up winning the championships and whatnot. Brendan Haywood's there, Andre Blatch is there, Randy Foye, and even a few other notable names that a lot of you younger viewers will be able to recognize. And the first one you're going to see is JaVale McGee was on the Wizards back then, and the other one is Swaggy P himself, Nick Young. There's a lot of youth on this team, but obviously like the core of the team being Arenas, Jameson, and Butler are getting up there in age, so I got to make decisions on those guys. And I ended up playing a game against the New York Knicks, who were my favorite team at one point, but if you guys haven't followed me on Twitter, I recently renounced the Knicks for multiple different reasons. Mainly, I just won't support them until Jim Dolan sells the team. And the Wizards are the team that I decided that I'm going to support. So I figured, with that in mind, doing a series with the Wizards was pretty much inevitable at some point. And this is the game I just decided to play because NBA 2K20 is honestly damn near unplayable. So as far as the plan with this series, I plan on playing on the second highest difficulty, which I believe is Pro to start out with, just because I'm not really familiar with the button setup in NBA Live 10, and from what I've seen, I can't really change the button layout, so I just kind of have to learn how to play this game pretty much, as I was pretty comfortable in this game at least with certain buttons, but you're going to see like where I make certain mistakes. And I'm just not really familiar with the button layout because I play 2K so much, or I've played 2K so much in the past, and because I still play College Hoops 2K. Now, if you currently play this game, which I don't really see as a probability, I don't know too many people who still play NBA Live 10, but if you do, or if you even have any sliders that you would suggest me trying out, then leave them in the comment section below, and I'll at least give them a test drive if this series does get selected. And even some of the animations in this game look better than the animations in NBA 2K20. Like that one right there where they kind of jockey for the ball. I mean, sometimes it just looks really sloppy when you play 2K, but that's why I decided to give this game a try. It looks really good, and I know there were a lot of issues with the NBA Live games once they got ported to 360 and PS3, but this game at least plays pretty smoothly for the most part. I mean, there are a few complaints I could make, but it's like overall, considering this game is over 10 years old now and it's on the previous gen, for the most part I don't have a whole lot of complaints as far as gameplay goes. Now, I haven't touched the Dynasty mode, which they call it, but we'll have to see what happens with that. Maybe I'll just do like a test drive Dynasty if this gets selected, but we'll have to see. I'm pretty interested on seeing how you guys feel about this series because, again, with everybody showing all this love to 2K and whatnot, nobody really paid attention to NBA Live 10, and I personally feel like it's a pretty good game for the most part. Now, I'm also not closed-minded to the idea of possibly doing a roster update for this team. I haven't found any roster updates, although I haven't really looked very hard for them either. But if you guys are more interested in me doing like a roster update where I have like Bradley Beal and John Wall and everybody else, let me know in the comments section, and I will at least consider doing something like that. If I can like find out how to like download a roster and do that, then maybe I'll do that or something else like that. We'll have to see. That's going to do it for this series proposal. Let me know in the comment section what you think about this one. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the sub button if you're new as well. Also, be sure to turn your notifications on to join the notification gang. That way, every time I upload a video, you guys will be notified of it. But if you have your notifications on, you feel like you're still not getting my videos every time they upload, then follow me on Twitter and join the Discord server where I notify everybody every time I drop a new video. And if you guys want to support the channel in a more personal way, I encourage you to become a patron on my Patreon page. The link's going to be in the description below as always. Now, some of the benefits of being a patron are you get to see a lot of my videos before anybody else does, and you also get guaranteed placement in any series I do as far as draft classes go or recruiting classes go. You automatically get placement in those series, and hell, depending on how much you pledge, you can even request me to make a certain video on any topic that you want me to make it on. But with that being said, you guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this. Like I always say, guys, no matter what happens, make sure you keep that mofo rolling. I love y'all 3000. I'm Audi 5000. Deuces.